Have you ever noticed how a woman suddenly opens up to you, telling you about her stress, her bad day, her insecurities, her ex, her fears? And you feel this strange pressure to fix everything for her. You sit there, trying to give solutions, thinking that's what she wants. But instead of thanking you, she grows distant, cold. You're left confused, asking yourself, wait, what just happened? Here's the truth that most men never learn. When a woman tells you her problems, she's not always asking for your help. She's revealing something far deeper, something that tells you exactly how she feels about you. And if you misunderstand that moment, you'll lose her respect, her attraction, and maybe even her trust. So listen closely, because what I'm about to share with you will completely change the way you see women forever. 1. The misunderstanding most men make. Let's start with something that happens to almost every man. A woman opens up to you and maybe she says, "My boss yelled at me today," or "My friend betrayed me." You being logical, jump in, "Just quit that job," or "You shouldn't hang out with her anymore." You mean well, but here's where everything collapses. Women don't always seek logic. They seek presence. When she shares her emotions, she's not looking for a man to fix her situation. She's looking for a man strong enough to handle her emotions without being controlled by them. It's a subtle test of your emotional maturity. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That's the essence of Stoicism and exactly what women subconsciously look for. If you get flustered, try too hard, or start problem-solving instantly, she feels unseen. But when you stay calm, listen, and simply understand, she feels safe, and that safety builds attraction, stronger than any compliment ever could. 2. What it really means when she opens up. When a woman starts sharing her problems with you, it's not random, it's a sign of trust. She's inviting you into her emotional world, a place she doesn't let everyone enter. Most men misread this moment. They think she's weak, dramatic, or needy. But in truth, she's saying, "I trust you enough to show you my unfiltered side." That's intimacy, not romance yet, but the foundation of it. Women don't open up to men they don't respect. They open up to those who feel emotionally safe. And this is where emotional intelligence separates the strong from the average. When you listen calmly without judgment, without rushing, she begins to associate peace with your presence. You become the man she can emotionally exhale around. But if you react like every other man trying to fix, argue, or dismiss, she shuts down. She'll still talk to you, but not about things that matter. And from that moment on, the emotional bridge starts collapsing. So remember this, when she opens up, she's not seeking rescue, she's seeking resonance. 3. Attraction versus friend zone. Now here's where things get tricky. Not every time a woman shares her problems means attraction. Sometimes it means the opposite. When she constantly complains about other men, her ex, her crush, or some guy friend, and turns you into her emotional dumping ground, you're not her romantic interest. You're her emotional therapist. She uses your presence for comfort, not connection. A woman who's truly attracted to you shares in a different energy. She reveals just enough to feel connected, but she keeps emotional tension alive. She'll share a problem, then subtly observe how you react. If you stay calm, confident, unbothered, she feels drawn closer. But if you overinvest emotionally, she subconsciously loses respect. So how do you know which one you are? Simple. Watch what happens after. Does she move closer, flirt, or value your presence more? Or does she vanish after using you for emotional relief? A Stoic man doesn't become a sponge for her chaos. He listens, but never loses his center. He provides peace, not at the cost of his own. That's the difference between attraction and the friend zone. And mastering this emotional boundary is what makes you unforgettable. Or the Stoic response, power in silence. Here's what separates a Stoic man from the rest. When a woman tells him her problems, he doesn't rush to speak. He listens. He observes. He stays still. Why? Because silence isn't weakness, it's control. In a world where everyone's talking, interrupting, and oversharing, a man who listens deeply becomes magnetic. Women are surrounded by men trying to impress them with words, advice, or logic. But the man who listens without judgment gives something rare, emotional space. When you stay quiet, calm, and present, she feels your strength. She feels that you're grounded, not shaken by her chaos. That's what draws her closer. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Sometimes your silence speaks louder than words. You don't need to fill every gap with advice. You only need to show that you understand. Try this the next time a woman vents. Just listen, nod, and say softly, That sounds tough. I get how that would make you feel. That simple acknowledgement can melt walls she's built for years. Because for a woman, peace is rare. And when she feels it in your presence, she never forgets it. 5. The hidden message behind her words. When a woman tells you her problems, she's doing more than expressing emotion. She's revealing what she subconsciously wants to know about you. She's asking, can he handle my emotions or will he collapse under them? This is a test most men fail. They either get defensive, emotional, or impatient. But a Stoic man doesn't flinch. He understands that her emotions are not an attack. They're a mirror reflecting what she feels safe to express. The hidden truth is this: a woman's openness is her form of trust. She shares her chaos only with men who feel steady. If your calmness holds, her attraction deepens. If you react, she pulls back. Think of it this way. Her words are not always about what she says, but about how you respond. When she feels your composure, she feels protected. And that feeling of safety, emotional safety, is the foundation of feminine desire. Don't see her emotions as drama. See them as an invitation to rise above chaos and to prove that your masculinity is anchored in strength, not reaction. 6. The calm within chaos. Here's the ultimate truth. When a woman tells you her problems, she's not testing your mind. She's testing your energy. She doesn't want perfection. She wants peace. She wants to know if you can stay calm while she's emotional. That's the essence of true masculinity. The ability to remain centered when everything else falls apart. And that's why Stoic men are so rare. They don't let emotions dictate their behavior. The next time a woman opens up, don't try to be the hero who solves her world. Be the calm presence that allows her to breathe. Say less, feel more. Listen deeply. Because in that moment, your calmness becomes her comfort. Your silence becomes her safety. And your understanding becomes her attraction. Women remember men who made them feel safe, not the ones who had all the answers. So be the stillness in her storm. Be the balance in her chaos. And you'll notice, she'll stop talking about her problems to everyone else and start coming only to you. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.